sure that they will be kind of rolling out in the months and years ahead. And we thought it would be interesting to hear his perspective of how he sees the industry. I know they've been researching India a lot. We've got Vishal Gondal, who's also in addition to this panel, because Vishal today is representing more the interesting business model of games on demand, which seems to be finding traction amongst the broadband users. Vishal's company, India Games, has been traditionally known to being a mobile player, but we have him today speaking about the games on demand service, which is a very interesting service, and we'd like to hear more about that, how things have been panning out. We've got Nitish Mitrasen from Nazara. Nazara is one of the leading companies in the mobile space in India. They're a Sequoia-funded company, and Nazara has made an extremely steady and impressive progress in distribution of gaming content. They also have a very interesting business model of games on demand for the mobile, which I think would be very interesting to hear how things are going. We've got Prakash Ahuja. I call him, he's the most optimistic guy that I've met in the games industry. Prakash, many years of experience in the IT industry, and then chose to get into games. Created a studio in Hyderabad, which I think has done very well for itself in the 4 or 5 years that it's been in existence. And so he's a developer who is of games on various platforms, also beginning to self-publish content. So we thought it would be nice to have Prakash share his views on how things are. Must-have thing in the school bag. So that makes Atin very happy, because there's been a surprising growth of sales of that handheld console. And then of course the PS3, which Sony has been hoping would ride the wave of the Indians' current appetite and penchant for buying full HD TVs and so on. So we've got Atin to share with us his views on how the console business is panning out. So what I'd like to do is really start off with Atin. He's a happy man today with the game launch. I'd like to see, hear from you, Atin. How's the year gone by, and how do you see things? What do you see? Trending lines for your business. In the near future.
The proof of the if you want to know, the proof of the pudding lies in the eating. I think that 2-3 years ago we started walking this journey with NASSCOM. Had this gaming conclaves coming up regularly. I think when I joined this industry from outside and had the first NASSCOM meeting, I went out thinking yes, including me, everyone are discussing things about what others can do to help us grow big. From there to today, if you look at just the PlayStation gallery that we have put up, I have not put up anything that is most expected of PlayStation to put up there. That is the new launches from the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation Portable. I have put up all the games that has been developed in India for the Indians with the Indian developers. And that's quite a handful there. If you look at the mood of the industry here, it's no longer about what others can help us in doing steps equally collaboratively. I think India is going to become a very potent force in the world gaming market. We don't have to look just at the Indian market and say like, how do we make it big in India? Yes, India is a huge opportunity. From console selling standpoint, yes, I will always be focused on India. But in terms of the game development potential, I think, yes, India is going to give us a very high level of comfort zone, but I think the Indian game development industry is now on the cusp of taking over the world market also.
That's a lot of optimism, Atin. You've played a very big role in seeding that learning process, working with Indian studios. And you've had a number of people from Sony Europe who've been playing a very active role in that. So for them, how has that experience been, and how do you see things playing out?
See, like today in NASCOM, I think there is one of the developer who is 14-year-old who is being talked about. I yesterday got an email from NASCOM, and I promptly sent it over to Shahid and Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan is the CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment. The answer I got from Jim is that we must be getting somewhere. This is very positive, and it uh, proves that everything that we have done and put the faith in the Indian game development industry has uh, been is getting proved right. Another is whether you are talking of different models like co-creation and all. I think what they believe, the SCEE, UK, the people who have worked for India in developing India, they believe that in a Indian way there has always been a co-creation model. The fact that they have never interfered with the creative licenses of the developers, they have never given it as a brief that this is the game that needs to be developed. The ideas have always come from the developers. The moment we have been able to give them the business confidence, the rest of the game is actually an Indian developer. So the moment, which also gives them as well as us the confidence that the moment any of the Indian developers see a business, get a business confidence, they are competent in doing the full cycle game. It doesn't need speed. On a selfish way, I will always like to be. Yes, if I look at my portfolio also, like even till May, there are a sequence of another 3-4 games coming out. We are already in talks about what can be next year's portfolio. The only challenge is to straddle how do we play the PS2 strategy in the Indian market. But what we are now seeing is a lot of strong IP owners are also showing interest, including people from the film industry. They have not started but showing interest. So it gives us the confidence. The second thing is the moment that technologically as well as means whether it is animation, whether it is programming or whether it is storytelling, the game developers come to a level where, like the Street Cricket we are launching is simultaneously getting launched in South Africa, Middle East. Australia has shown interest, UK has shown interest. So if they are taking it, they are very finicky game like a sales company. They have no intention of making like Ski in India successful by doing a global launch. So that showcases that we can make it. And once that confidence comes in, I think you will see that parallel process. Yes, we will always, for the Indian content, we will keep partnering different developers. But if I am partnering 3, there will be a time when there are 6 or 7 games which are coming in and becoming successful, able to recover 50% of the costs out of India and another 50% of the costs out of the world, and then making profit of a good 20-30%.
So in terms of the platforms that you have 3 platforms out there. How do you when you started, you felt that it was a good idea to leverage the PS2 and the fact that it was a device which was having its price at what it was, and the pre-existing grey market imports that were already, there was probably when you guys started, there was already about 1 or 2 lakh installed base that was already there. Today, you have probably 5-6 lakhs, maybe 7 lakhs PS2s in India. How do you see those guys continuing to use those consoles, or are they beginning to look at upgrading? Are they looking at continuing to buy games? What's the attach rate like? What's the trending line there?
No, in terms of the yes, there is like the people who have earlier gone into a PS2, they are definitely looking at upgrades. The new gamers have always started looking at an upgrade. But I think in terms of the marketing strategy, this is where we have also been a bit restricted, or like have not seen the success. That yes, PS2 new gamers are still from families with a household income of around 500k and above, which is a traditional luxury sweet spot. there the people have the capability and are wanting to shift to PS3, which is why we are seeing a huge growth in the PS3 on the recent time. But PS2 still has a role to play if you slide it down to the next strata of the income bracket, which is 250,000 plus. And done properly, I think it has a huge opportunity as an entry level console. But I think a time is also coming when we should be the early movers into the PS3, the PSP or the PS3 platform. And with the move coming in, I think the early mover advantage is something that is out there in the beckoning because for next 6, 7, 8 months, 1 year, perhaps there are games, but if you can come up with good games on the move and with it getting broadcast, I think it will have a higher rate of adoption than anywhere else.
So when do you see PS3 touching a 1 million installed base? What's your
Now you're
What's the stick in the ground on
asking
that?
me like my boss. Hopefully, see, what gives us the confidence is that, a year ago, digital camera was 1.3 million. This year, they are going to do 2.2 million. Means all cameras are put together. Similar sort of jumps had been seen in the LCD panel everywhere. Means anything else. So when India jumps, it really jumps big.
Yes, sure.
Only thing I think what the current gaming industry is lacking in terms of the business development or the is cross competition market. I think is so with a limited budget, I can only reach so many people and expect only that level of growth. Shop also the space to gaming is like 2, 3 and not well maintained. I think once that happens and we see that consumer inflection, I think.
On the content side, we have a very large market for piracy. I mean, 90-95% even today. What has been your sense of people moving towards legal software, buying games? Are you having reasons to be optimistic on that front?
Yes, both. See, as more and more market shifted into the traditional organized channel, we realize the type of people who come in are more open to buying official products unless they are continuously told on their ears that everyone can pirate this and you get it at 50 rupees, which is the problem on the PS2. Technologically, I think both the PSP and the PS3, because of the firmware update route, has been pretty successful in containing the piracy. If I look at a PS3, I don't see any piracy there currently, though there was a huge storyline. We contained it very fast. This year, if we are talking about 150, around 200,000 units of PS3 software at 2.5K price point.
Wow, really?
That's pretty big. Means it's all put together. So I'll be doing around 70,000, 70, 80,000. Titles like God of War is doing something like 17, 18,000 units at 2.5K, and still the platinum is yet to come. Killzone already has a booking of around 15K. So now big titles are really going big. The move titles, we launched very conservatively, and now on the titles like Sports Champion Fight, we have already revised it from 1,000 to now 7,000. So that's the type of jump we are seeing
In terms of unit sales?
in terms of the unit sales. So quite confident if you have a good IP, I think on the PS3, PSP platform, you have a good opportunity to sell.
Cool. All right. Thanks a lot. So I want to cut across to Vishal, who has a very different take on